Hey guys, I am coming to you tonight to go over some key tips to the basics of keeping your kids healthy this fall. All of us go through this every year. We want to get prepared for our kids going back to school, so we get backpacks and new clothes and new shoes. And a lot of times we forget about wellness and how to keep our kids healthy preventatively. I am all about prevention. I teach this to all my customers. I was brought up to think prevention and not like wait till something happens. That's just how I was raised, and so I love to encourage people to get prepared ahead of time. The best time to get your supplies for a healthy fall for you and your kids, because all of these products that I'm going to talk about tonight are good for you and for your kids. They're multi-purpose, and I actually use most of these on my dogs as well. So we use them on our pets. We use a lot of them on our chickens, for our chickens to keep them healthy. So they're great for a lot of things. And the best resource outside of reaching out to one of us or whoever signed you up, you can reach out to them, you can reach out to me because I'm your upline, is to check out your desk reference. I mean, there's online desk references for Young Living, and there is paperback desk references. I have all of the editions, I think, except for one. Because it's really a lot more informative than what Young Living can say on their website. So Young Living can say on their website that Stress Away is calming and relaxing, but the actual definition of what all the constituents are listed for Stress Away in the desk reference, all the oils that are in it are listed on there, and they tell about what each one does individually cellularly in your body. So if you are using these oils just to scent your home because it smells good, you are missing out, and you're really kind of using them incorrectly because they are not just a pretty scent. Stress Away goes all of these oils because they are so pure, and because from the soil that we put our oil, plants in, to the seed that we grow, Young Living is like beyond organic in its ways that it cultivates, harvests the land, how they take care of the land. We don't ever sell, or we don't ever put any plants into ground that has not had that has had chemicals on it in the last 50 years. 50 years, guys. And organic standards are like 5 to 7 years. So we go way beyond that. And all of our partner farms that we don't own, we own a lot of our farms, and the partner farms have to adhere to our seed to seal guarantee, and they adhere to the same standards. Okay, so if you looked up Stress Away in the desk reference, it's going to tell you way more information than the website does, because Young Living can't make any specific health claims, but the third party that does our desk references can do that. They can actually tell you the properties and the constituents and the function that each of these oils do for you in your body, because they actually work at a cellular level. It is absolutely incredible. So the first time that I bought an oil, almost 13 years ago, I bought it for some emotional needs of one of my children. I didn't want to medicate them, so I got this oil. It was a blend, Oil of Joy. I had no idea what any of these oils did or could do, and I was just encouraged at a class, kind of like this, but in person, to try this oil for this specific emotional need that this child had. And so I just started putting it on their pillowcase because I really wasn't sure if they would put it on if I gave it to them. There was a teenager at the time. So I started putting it on their pillowcase, and they literally reacted just by having it on their pillowcase without them knowing that it was there. The other siblings in the house reacted, and they're like, why is this sibling like happy? Why is this sibling smiling? Normally she's angry. So it was day and night that we saw results. And you're not going to get those results with Walmart oils or oils at a gas station or even online cheaper oils, because they are not, one, the seed that those plants are from is not a quality seed. The land, you don't know where the land is because they don't have farms. We actually have farms. If you don't believe that because of like some story you read online, you can actually make an appointment with one of our farms and go to that. You can go to our farm in Ecuador. You can go to our farm in France. You could go to our farm in Oman. You can go to our farm in Utah. You can actually go there and see the seed to sale process that we have. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to jump right in because I don't want to make this too long. So we're going to get our kids ready for school. We're going to get ourselves ready for fall because all the things happen in the fall, right? We're all just all of a sudden are susceptible to all the things. And so we want to be proactive and preventative with keeping our kids healthy. And just like when I use this analogy all the time, like if you want to be healthy, eating a salad once a month is not going to get you healthy. Eating a salad or eating better healthy food choices every day is going to create a lifestyle of being healthier to where your system is stronger to be able to fight all the things, right? Just like if you exercise every day, you're going to be more in shape. I haven't tackled that one yet, than if you exercised once a month, right? So prevention to get our kids healthy and putting these products on, or at least one or two of them on every day on their feet, on their spine, on their wrists. A lot of kids, once your kids are brought up with these things, you can give a toddler this roller ball and they will know what to do. I have seen grandkid toddlers just roll themselves up ready for bed and they're done. So that's all you got to do is teach your kids these wellness tips and they will take it on. And there's ways to do that. These oils are safe, so if your toddler gets into the bottle of cough syrup, then that's a danger and you'd have to call poison control. If your toddler gets into the thieves oil and like puts it all over their face, yes, it's going to be hot, yes, it's going to sting and they're going to cry, but it's not going to harm their eyes, it's not going to harm their skin, it's just going to burn because it's like the thieves would be one that would burn. Stress away would not be, but as soon as they get it in their eyes, all you got to do is put a little bit of like olive oil in their eyes, like a drop of olive oil in your eye or their eyes. I've had this happen with grandchildren, and I've had it happen with myself. And if you can't get the olive oil in their eye, just they're going to cry for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And then it's going to be done. There's no damage. So the oils will not damage your tissues. It will actually help your cellular function. So I've gotten peppermint in my eyes while I've been driving, and to where I don't have a carrier, I can't do it while I'm driving. It does make your eyes water like crazy. So I just pulled off the side of the road, just kind of waited it out. Within 5 minutes, it was gone, and then I just kept driving. So there's no damage to your eyes. You just don't want to put oils in your eyes or your ears. Again, almost everybody I've known has always gotten them in their eye at some point, whether they put it on their fingers and then wipe their eye forgetting. You're just going to literally want to take one drop of a pure olive oil. You're not going to use peanut oil or canola oil or anything like that. Those are not good oils to use internally. Don't eat them and don't put them in your eyes. So just a pure olive oil, you're going to put one drop in your eye, and the oil, the olive oil is a fatty oil, so it's going to absorb the oil, it's going to slow it down so that it gets into your eye, but it's just going to slow down the absorption so the pain just goes away. If you put thieves on, which I don't have sensitive skin and I've used oils for so long, I don't have any issue using them without a carrier oil, but say you put thieves on and you're very fair skinned and your skin starts to like feel warm and it feels kind of like, oh, that's uncomfortable. All you do is take a drop or two of like coconut oil. It could be a solid coconut oil or a liquid one, jojoba oil, pomegranate seed oil, whatever you have. Fractionated coconut oil is liquid, and put a drop of that on there and just rub it in, and it poof, it's gone. Like it just literally slows down the absorption of the oils because they drive into the skin very fast. And so it slows it down, and then the pain just goes away, guys. It just happens every time. You don't want to put oils in your ears. Now, a great tip for kids for the fall or winter, summer, spring, anytime for adults too. If you have issues with like ear discomfort, say they're complaining that their ear is uncomfortable, you could take lavender and take a half a cotton ball and put a couple drops of lavender, like 3-4 drops of lavender on a cotton ball, and then put it inside the ear. So you just put it right here inside the ear. And I've done this for myself. I've walked around with it all day. I've slept with it in. So you don't want to shove it down deep into the hole. That's like not necessary. You just put the cotton ball with, I would say, 4 drops of lavender, and you just put it right inside here. And it literally just dissipates the discomfort. And it'll also help dealing with the issue of why you have the discomfort as well. So you can leave it there, you could change it daily. The most I've ever had to leave it in is 2 days because I had an uncomfortable feeling. I can't say certain words. I've had an uncomfortable feeling, and I'm like, why would I have that? I'm not a child. I'm not feeling yucky. Like, what's going on? And it just takes the discomfort away. And sometimes I've left it in there for a couple days, putting a new one in each day, leaving it in overnight, just to make sure that whatever was going on is taken care of by this oil. These oils create a hostile environment to like bacteria, funguses, all the kind of things, right? We just got to be careful because certain 3-letter agencies don't want us to say certain words, so that's what we got to adhere to. But lavender is a great oil to use for those ear issues. It is great to sleep with. It is one of the #1 oils that I would have on hand. Do not buy cheap lavender because there is more lavender sold than there is grown, guys. This is one of the most adulterated oils that there is out there. You don't want to buy a $2, $5, or $10 bottle of lavender. It's just not of good quality. And those cheaper oils where you have no idea how they were processed, how they were distilled, most of those companies, 99% of them use a chemical called hexane, and that is to get a bigger supply out of the oil to produce a bigger yield so that they can make more money. But we don't do that. We don't use any chemicals. So the only thing that's in here is lavender. Like they put you can go onto our website, seedtoseal.com, and you can check out you could see pictures of all the processes of how we do our oils. And so you can see just lavender material in our distillers. All our distillers are stainless steel. These oils only touch glass and stainless steel. We don't put them in plastic at any point during the process. Actually, the oils in plastic will pull the petrochemicals out of the plastic. So you never want to put, so if you're going to put oils in your water, you're going to use a cup, like a glass mug or a cup. When I go to a restaurant, I do put lemon in my water all the time. So when I go to a restaurant and they give me a plastic glass, I'm like, can I please have, like, whether it's a wine glass, I don't care what kind of glass it is, I just want a glass. And then I'm safe to use my lemon oil. And I put a little bit of stevia in it. It tastes like lemonade to me, so that is the way to do it. So lavender for your kids is going to be great for ear discomfort. It's going to be great to help them sleep. You could put like 5 drops, every child is different. So like a 4-year-old, you might put 2 or 3 drops down. I tend to use a lot of drops on my grandkids. From the time they're born, all of them have gotten frankincense put on them literally the minute they were born. They were all born at home, and they get frankincense on them while mom's pregnant on her belly, and then they get frankincense put on them while they're born, right as they come out, because frankincense is the #1 oil for trauma. It is great to help them emotionally just be stable and calm as an infant. It helps them physically because it's traumatic being born, and sacred frankincense also gives your immune system a boost. And so that was kind of just like, not an oil that you have to have on hand necessarily for kids, but that's just how early that we start these oils, because they're safe, they're effective, they're like so wonderful to have for your family. And like lavender's a Swiss Army knife. It does so many things, and it creates a hostile environment to microbes and funguses and molds and all those kind of things. So it is a fantastic oil to have, as well as it's great for your skin. So if you've been sun-kissed by the sun and you put this in a little bit of carrier oil and rub it on your kid's back or wherever they've been sun-kissed, that is fantastic. It is great to repel bugs outside, or if you get a little bug bite, you can put some lavender on it. It's great for that too. This has so many uses. It is literally, like I said, the Swiss Army knife of oils because it does so many things. You could look it up. I tend to tell people, if you're looking something up online, look up for the images of it and then type in like Young Living Lavender and see what the images show you. And all the older images are much more descriptive than what we can say now, because back in like 2014, I think, 2013, we were just, a lot of wellness companies were told that we couldn't use certain language. So we just gotta let you know how good it is, try it, and you will absolutely see the difference. So that's lavender. I would not do anything without lavender for your kids. Now, if you have kids, the fall's coming up, so if you have kids that have seasonal issues, right? Sneezing, itchy nose, scratchy throat, itchy eyes, this trio, peppermint, lemon, and lavender, are fantastic. So you can either diffuse it, or you can put 3 to 4 drops of each one, 3 to 4 drops of each one on their wrists. I've done it to people on a plane and they like literally stop sniffing and coughing. Or 3 to 4 drops each in a capsule. Like you buy just empty capsules and you put 3 to 4 drops in, no carrier oil needed, and you take that internally. It is fantastic for adults as well. Adults can take up to 5 or 6 drops each, and that's of each one, and you can do this every 4 hours, and it is fantastic to help you breathe easier, to help the sniffling, sneezing, all the seasonal yuck, the sinuses and all that for the seasons, for spring and fall when there's grasses growing and leaves falling and the seasons are changing and all that kind of stuff happens. Peppermint, lavender, and lemon are the bomb, okay? And I just told you all the things that lavender does. Lemon, so you get those 3 things for the seasonal changes, and you have all this for other reasons as well. So now when your kids are doing homework, when they come home and they're doing homework, diffuse lemon. Lemon is like $11.25, I think, for this big bottle. And you put 8 drops in the diffuser while the kids are doing their homework, while they're studying for a test. There's actually studies done where kids that, or adults that are diffusing lemon while there is a test being taken, the scores are 50% higher. And so it's just fantastic for cognitive retention, for energy, for alertness. So do not diffuse lemon at night before bedtime if you want your kids to sleep. I made that mistake once. I put lemon and frankincense in, like a customer had recommended, like, oh, I love lemon and frankincense together, it smells so good. Well, I did it at night, not even like realizing, because I know lemon is energizing. I did it at night and I didn't sleep at all, because I was like, why did I not sleep? And then I realized, like, I diffused lemon, of course, it's energizing. So this is great when you, like in the morning, if you need them to be picked up and kind of awakened. Don't diffuse lavender in the morning, diffuse that at night, and then diffuse lemon. Super inexpensive to diffuse all day long. Lemon is very powerful for our immune system. It helps boost your immune system. I love to put it in my water every day. It's very cleansing to your lymphatic system, for your liver as well. And lemon is also great to clean things with. So I put it in my Thieves spray for cleaning my whole house. It gets the windows clean, the mirrors clean. It makes the whole house smell good, and then it also takes away sticky residue. So if you have sticky stuff, if your kids stuck stickers on the walls, on the doors, on the mirrors, you take a couple drops and you put it on your finger and you just cover the top of the sticker, it'll just peel right off. It is fantastic. It also takes off like permanent marker. It is the bomb. And I've tried cheap lemon oil to take off permanent marker as well, and it didn't work for me, at least. And I went back and used the Young Living lemon oil, and it totally worked. It got it off of a wood piano bench, actually. So that is lemon. It is fantastic. It's very inexpensive, and during the summer especially, again, it helps boost your immune system. So that candle that you're burning to get that scent in your house is not boosting your immune system. It's actually putting chemicals into your lungs and on your brain. Can cause skin irritation. Diffusing lemon is going to cellularly help your cells be immune strong. It's going to help cleanse your liver, cleanse your lymphatic system. It's going to awaken you and refresh you and give you energy. So that is fantastic for your kids when you need them to have energy, right? Peppermint is great for tummy issues, if they have a little tummy ache, if they have any kind of discomfort anywhere, say they play soccer, you need them to, they've got like a bump on their ankle or their bones or any of that. Peppermint is great. It's also great for the seasonal issues. It is great to put in some water if you ate something that you're not supposed to and it kind of makes you bloated. And like if I eat gluten or dairy, it really gets me all bloated and uncomfortable. All I have to do is put like 3 drops in a glass of water, drink it down, and it really helps my body's response to inflammation very quickly. So it's really great for that. It also helps kind of get rid of the bugs. It helps get rid of spiders. I love cleaning my floors when certain seasons bring in more spiders than others. I put this in the water and I clean my floors with it, and the spiders just go away. And it's just, look up peppermint. It's got so many uses, kind of like lavender, way more uses than I can say, but it is great to help your kids. It's also very energizing, so don't diffuse peppermint at night. It's a great oil to diffuse in the morning. You can mix it with lemon if you need them to wake up and get ready for school and be ready. Put it again on their tummies, on the bottom of their feet. Anytime that you don't know where to put in oil, if you're like, I'm new, I don't know what to do, put it on their feet. It'll get into every cell of their body because it's going into their cells. It's not just that specific area that you're putting it on. So if they have head tension, ear discomfort, back tension, wherever it is, whatever the issue is, if you're not sure what to do, put it on the bottom of their feet. And if it's like if you want to go for a walk and you want to open up your airways and just have a refreshing walk, or if it's super hot out and you want to lower your body's temperature, you put a couple drops of peppermint on the back of your neck, and or maybe a drop or 2 on your chest. It literally opens up your airways. You can breathe easier. It'll help you endure the walk more. The back of the neck really cools down the whole body, so peppermint does both of those things. And that way, like you don't have to put it on your feet. You can put it on your back. You can put it on your wrists. Again, for the allergy, the seasonal discomfort, you can put it on your wrists, and it'll just help your child breathe easy, right? So the next one is thyme. Just have thyme in your house. It is the oil that helps, thyme and oregano. So thyme and oregano really help your body work through issues that you get exposed to during the winter, summer, fall months, mostly fall and winter. It really helps your system work through them faster. My personal experience and what I tell people is when I want to, if I just want to have, you know, my lungs open up when I walk, I can put on a breathing oil when I go for a walk, and I just use 1 drop, right? And that's just like, open up my airways. I'm going to go for a walk, go for a hike. I do that all the time when we hike. So, but if I'm like, my wellness is down and I've succumbed to something and I'm below the wellness line, I'm going to not just put a drop on. I'm going to probably put 2 or 3 drops on my chest, and I'm going to maybe put some on my spine or on my feet, and I'm going to do that every hour or 2. So when you're exposed to something and your immune system is struggling, I suggest doing whatever you're doing. Like I personally take oils internally when I feel like run down and yucky. So normally I would put like thyme and oregano on my spine. I do it to my husband. I do it like when he works in the city. I do it on his back just preventatively so that he doesn't get anything and bring anything home. Now, if he did, then I would be putting these things in a capsule and giving it to him every couple hours. Like, and if he's gone during the day, I would either make some up for him to take, or I would give it to him before he left, when he gets home, and then before bed again. That's personally what I feel is the most effective when you're down for the count, when your wellness is under attack. I think taking them internally is really effective and fast. You can also, again, put them down your spine. There's a lot of nerve endings on your spine. It is a great place to layer oils. And you could put 10, 15 different oils on your spine, 8, 10, 15 drops each. For a child, you'd maybe do 1 or 2 drops each of several different oils. It's not overwhelming. It is very effective. And if any of these oils like oregano and thyme are hotter oils, you would just use a little bit of carrier oil. What do I do with that? Just use a little bit of carrier oil either before or after you apply them. And again, that's just going to like slow down the absorption and make them easier to endure. So thyme and oregano, the 2 oils that you have to have in your, so you don't have to use these every day. You could use them every day, but they are the 2 oils that you want to have in your house, because as soon as, like, if people go down for the count, you don't have time to wait for an order. So you want to have these oils. These are like 2 of the biggest emergency oils that I would say for kids and adults that are in a healthy price range to have just in your house. These oils do not expire. So Young Living oils do not expire. They don't have expiration dates on them because they will last 50, 60 years. I have certain oils that I've had for 13 years since I started with the company, because they're specific oils for very specific reasons, and I don't use them all the time. There's some oils that I use every month and I go through them and I have to order again, and there's some oils that I have for very specific, like kidney function, liver function. I have Ledum. My bottle of Ledum is probably the 2nd bottle that I've had of Ledum, and the whole time that I've been with Young Living, it's actually got the old label on it because I only use this oil sparingly. It's a fantastic oil for lots of things, digestion and your liver, but I only use it sparingly. So that oil, it has the old label on it, but I know it hasn't expired, so it's safe to still use. So what you can do is you can make a wellness roller. If you're like, I don't really know what to do, you can make a wellness roller. So you could take some carrier oil. This is just a bottle that I put carrier oil in. And you could get roller balls off of Amazon. This happens to be a Young Living one because we got them free last month with a $100 order. And so you got 3 of them. And so you just open it up, put, say, maybe this much of carrier oil in it. Fractionated coconut oil is great because it's liquid, or jojoba oil, organic jojoba oil is great. And then you'd put like 15 drops of each oil. So say you want thyme, oregano, and let's see, thieves. We haven't talked about thieves yet, but these 3 powerhouses for an immune roller. And you're just going to put 15 drops of each of those in there with just a little bit of carrier oil. Then you're going to put the roller top back on. And then you're going to, like, if your kid's old enough, you're going to say, roll this on your feet every morning before you put your socks on. If they're small and they can't do it themselves, anything over 4, I've just seen all oily babies and kids just know how to do it themselves. So you could say, just roll this on the bottom of your feet, both feet, before you go to bed, and then roll it on the bottom of your feet before you get up and get dressed and before you put your socks on. So whether you're homeschooling, whether your kids are going to school, whether they're going to daycare, you either do it for them or they do it for you. If you make it a routine, they're actually going to look forward to it. They're going to ask for it, like my grandkids ask for it. So it's really cool. And that way you're being preventative. So if something does hit them, it's probably going to hit them way less than it would someone else. Again, these are working at a cellular level. So you can make this roller for your husband. He can roll it on his wrists. He can roll it on the bottom of his feet. I take one of these when I go out of town. It's great to roll on the bottom of my feet. So it's, instead of having to put a couple drops of each of these on, I just roll it on the bottom of my feet and it's done. It's got all 3 of these goodness in it. Thieves is the other one. It's our signature oil, the bomb for anything immune system related. It just keeps the ick away. It is really, it's a blend of clove and cinnamon, rosemary, lemon. It is fantastic for anything wellness. What I love to tell people, for adults especially, kids are probably not going to want to do this, maybe teenagers. If you feel like you're falling below the wellness line, take a drop of this and hold it to the roof of your mouth for 10 seconds and do that every hour. I kid you not, I can't tell you how quick it works. I've told customers that for years now, and they always come back and say, that actually really worked. I only had to do it for a day, and I felt so much better. So literally keep the bottle in your pocket, and anything sublingually gets into your bloodstream immediately, and it works very fast, very efficiently. Again, it's working at a cellular level. So you're just gonna drop a drop on your finger, hold it to the roof of your mouth for 10 seconds, and then do it again in an hour. If I feel really crummy, which I don't generally get that ill, I'm gonna do it every half an hour. That's very rare for me to get to that point, because I do all these things kind of preventatively, or at least a couple things like this daily, so I really don't have that issue. Oregano, again, is nature's fighter. It's just nature's fighter. Oregano is very powerful. It is, historically, it's known as a natural biotic, okay? We can't say that anymore, so we can just say that it's very good to boost your wellness, your immune system. It is definitely, it creates a hostile environment to funguses and bacteria, and so it's a fighter. It's just nature's fighter. So that, I always say, I take this a lot internally because I never want to smell like oregano personally. But if I'm home and I'm not going anywhere, I'll have my husband put it down my spine. I'll put it on the bottom of my feet. Again, if you're not sure where to put it on your kids, just put it on the bottoms of their feet. Anywhere you put it on the body, like oregano, you would need a carrier oil because it's very hot. But if you put it on the bottom of their feet, no carrier oil is needed. So again, if you're unsure with your kids, just put it on the bottom of their feet. Again, the roller ball is fantastic for that. And then thyme just helps you recover sooner. It helps you fight, helps your immune system fight, and it helps you recover sooner. So those are the 3 immune system powerhouses that I would absolutely recommend. And then getting to just emotions, like if you have kids that are afraid to go to school or having some emotional struggles after school, before school, separating, all that kind of stuff. Kids Sense, we do have a kids line. We have a kids starter kit that has an owl diffuser in it. But the kids line are all pre-diluted, so that you can just take this kids line, Kid Power it's called, and you can just put it right on anywhere on your kids, and it's pre-diluted. It's one of, just a certain line that we have that's pre-diluted, so parents can be just like, I don't know how to dilute them, so this is pre-diluted for you. You can just put it on. I absolutely encourage you to use this. This is a kids line one, but I use it all the time because I love it for perfume. I love it for calming. It's very emotionally calming, and so I use it for that. For myself. So the kids line can absolutely be used on adults. They are not weaker oils, they are just diluted. And so Kid Sense Kid Power is great for all those hard things that kids have to do. If they're having hard emotions, emotional struggles, if you're having hard emotions, emotional struggles, you have a job interview, you have something difficult to tackle, Kid Power or a Valor is fantastic for that. So we're talking about kids today. Kid Power is fantastic. You can put it on babies, you can put it on adults, grandparents. It is great for helping you get over the hurdle emotionally of doing the hard things. So it's great to put on them before they go to school. When they get home from school, if they have a hard time like calming themselves down, Kid Power is fantastic for that. The next thing I guess I would say is Digize. Digize is the gut intestinal balm. It is great for, especially if you're going out of the country and you're going to be eating things that you're not quite sure of. Digize is great to put in capsules when you're in that situation, and take a capsule of it with 5 drops in it like every 3, 4, 5 hours in a day. If you're traveling internationally, I just traveled to Michigan and I had a case of food poisoning. It was really bad, and what helped me was I was putting this in a capsule. I put a little bit on my tummy. I don't personally like the smell of it, so I don't want to smell like it, but I was desperate because it was bad, and so I put a little bit on my tummy. I put this in a capsule, and I actually combined it with lavender, and because lavender is just like a soothing, calming, relaxes your muscles, and so I put both of this and lavender in a capsule, and I took it internally, and that by the next morning I was completely fine. And so I kept taking this though like every 4 hours just to kind of flush everything out of my system. It just kind of gets it all out, cleans out your intestines, and it also helps with bloating. It helps with like cranky babies when they have like gut issues from like maybe being lactose intolerant, or you ate something and it's upsetting them and then you're nursing them. Babies that are formula fed sometimes have intestinal issues, and so you could put a little bit on their feet, on the bottom of their feet, or a little bit on their belly. Very, very safe and effective. It's great for anything tummy upset, especially bloating and uncomfortableness after you eat. So this is great, especially for the holidays, when we know that Halloween we're going to be eating too much candy. November we're going to be eating all that Thanksgiving food and too much pie and all the things, and then Christmas time we're just going to eat nothing but sugar the whole month of Christmas, which we shouldn't be doing, but you know, most people that's what they do. So this is great for all the times that you eat out and you're just not eat things that you're not used to. Your kids just have tummy aches. This is a great oil for that. 2 other things that I'm going to say is myrrh. If you have the funds to do it, I would get an oil like myrrh or frankincense, because these are powerhouse, very specific oils. They're high in sesquiterpenes and monoterpenes, and they just work some real magic for cellular integrity and function, and they help the body's response to inflammation. They help the body's response to trauma. And these are 2 oils that I really recommend. If you can, save up your loyalty points and redeem them for this. I always redeem my points for frankincense. Actually, I never pay for frankincense. I use my loyalty points that I get from placing my normal orders, and then I always get a big bottle of frankincense. I always have to have it in the house because it's great for emotional calm. Like if I'm emotionally upset, this is like the bomb for that. It's the best oil for any emotional trauma or physical trauma. And then myrrh is just fantastic for your skin. Both of these, you could put them in a roller ball or in a dropper with carrier oil. Like I use pomegranate seed oil because it's good for aging skin. Or you could use jojoba oil and just put a drop, put like 15-20 drops in some carrier oil and use it for your skin. If your kids have any kind of skin issues, lavender is great for that. Frankincense is great for that. Myrrh would be great for that too. So these are kind of like, again, emergency oils that I say. I put them aside. I never let my kids touch them unless it was like an emergency, and then we use them. One time my daughter in the middle of the night got something, she washed her face and like a little piece of metal actually got in her eye. So we used frankincense around her eye all night to keep her comfortable until we could get to the eye doctor the next morning. The eye doctor checked her out, got the piece of metal out, and then we just used frankincense constantly every hour around her eye. And then we had an appointment again the next morning, and the eye doctor was like, I can't believe that you can't even see the issue that was there. from the piece of metal. It's like completely gone. So that was used for an emergency and it worked fabulously. The last thing is purification, guys. Purification is for all those sports related. It actually is great oil to put on your glands when you're not feeling great or you're under the wellness line. It's great to put on your glands, the bottom of your feet. But purification is for all those smelly things. So like your kids' sports equipment, you could put cotton balls with purification in their sports equipment. This is like, it replaces all the Febreze and all the junk that just is toxic and creates a lot of respiratory issues, skin issues. We don't want to use those chemicals to get rid of odors. This actually digests the odors. You could take, you know, your kids' soccer shoes and their socks, and they could smell to high heaven. And you could put those shoes and socks into a Ziploc bag or a vacuum sealed bag and put like 2 or 3 cotton balls with 4 or 5 drops of purification on them. Put them in the cotton balls and zip it up, leave it there for a day or 2 overnight, and the smell will be completely gone. It's not going to be covered up with like a fake smell from a spray. It's going to be completely gone. So I've done like comforters. Whenever I pack up my comforters and all that for the winter, or for, you know, like during the summer, because I'm not using them, I always put 1 or 2 cotton balls with purification on them, so that when I take them out, like I wash them first, put them in the vacuum sealed bags with a couple cotton balls of purification, and then they smell great. So this is great for anything that your kids that make stink. I've diffused it in a car after a car ride where the child threw up the whole car ride. We cleaned it all up with thieves, and then I literally ran my diffuser for 2 cycles straight of nothing but purification to get rid of the smell. And it did. The car smelled completely normal after that. So that is another one. If you know that your kids are gonna, you know, if they're gonna use hand sanitizer, you wanna make sure they use healthy hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizers that are commercially made generally wipe out all of the good bacteria and the bad on your hands. Well, the Thieves hand sanitizer does not. It doesn't have any of the harmful cancer-causing chemicals that most or a lot of the commercial ones do, and it also leaves the good bacteria on your hands. The essential oils, they're plants, they grow, they have properties, and they know just whether something is good bacteria or bad bacteria. So even in your gut, like you take essential oils internally, they know whether to go after the bad bacteria and they leave the good bacteria alone. They just inherently know that because they're plants. And the last thing is, well, actually 2 more things. The Vitality Drops, if your kids are in sports. And these are like electrolytes. So I heard a report on Gatorade today. So I'm not gonna bash Gatorade right now, but I would not give, I never did let my kids have Gatorade. It was like a desperate measure if we bought a Gatorade. Coconut water works great for rehydration. But these Vitality Drops they make your water taste like fruit, and these have electrolytes in them, so they balance out your electrolytes. We go hiking a lot, and so I always make sure I take these. This is emulsified, so you can actually put it in a plastic bottle of water, whereas you can't with the regular oils. And you also, it's like 52 cents a serving. So I love to take these. I don't drink them at home generally. I love to take them to a restaurant so I don't have to buy an iced tea or coffee. I just get water, which is free, and then I use my 52-cent serving of Vitality Drops, because then it's a sweetened drink. That this one tastes like grapefruit, and the other one, there's lavender ones, there's lime ones, there are energy ones. In case you want to get off coffee and you want to make yourself drink more water, we have an energy version as well. But I love the electrolyte ones, especially during the summer. I always have them on my loyalty reward because me and my husband both drank them, not at home, but when we're out. And so today I was actually out driving. It's in the 90s today. I didn't have any water, so I stopped at a gas station, got a bottle of water. which was plastic, which I normally don't drink out of, but then I was able to just squeeze this in there and I was just refreshed and rehydrated. You can literally feel your body rehydrate. It feels amazing for 52 cents. So this is great for kids in sports. You just show them how to just use like half a squeeze in their water bottles, and it is a fantastic, healthier version than sports drinks. Because if you look up sports drinks, you would not ever give them to your kids, especially with all the food dyes. The last but not least is the Thieves Cough Drops. Now I'm going to tell the story again. When I first saw these come out, they're $20, and I was like, I will never in a day spend $20 on cough drops, right? And so I never bought them. I never promoted them. I didn't talk about them on my page because I was like, this is crazy. I'm not spending $20 for 30 cough drops. It's a little bit under $1 for each one. And then this was, I don't know, whenever these came out 5-6 years ago, I actually got a cough. So I wasn't really sick, but I got a cough that was I had to travel out of town for Young Living with one of my leaders, and so I was coughing so bad that she called me to talk about details about flying, and I could not finish the conversation because I was coughing. She couldn't understand a word I was saying because I was coughing so bad. And I literally said, I don't think they're going to let me on the plane because I'm coughing so bad. I don't feel sick, but like I'm coughing so bad. And she's like, you don't have the cough drops? And I'm like, no, I'm not spending $20 on cough drops. And the cough drops you buy in the store have sugar in them. I don't eat sugar. These are sweetened with stevia, so they don't have sugar. And she's like, I'm going to send my daughter over with some cough drops. So she sent her daughter over. I took one, and it immediately it just like soothed my throat. It helped my cough just stop. An hour or two later, I started coughing again, so I took another one, and it just again soothed my throat. It was just amazing. And so then I think I took them for like every few hours. It wasn't even that often. I didn't have a whole bag. She just gave me a handful of them. And I saved a couple for the plane. Like I did not cough even half as much after I started taking them. And then I saved a couple for on the plane. I didn't cough at all on the plane. And then the cough was just gone. Like I had struggled with it for a week prior to that. And I was like, whatever is in these things, we always buy 2 bags. Well, I don't buy them. I use my loyalty rewards. So I get 2 of them for free on my loyalty with my loyalty points. I always have 2 at the start of winter, so I just got my 2, and we don't use them for anything unless there's a persistent cough. So just whatever's in there, and there's no sugar. So I love there's no dyes. They are clear. So especially for kids, they're great because there's no dyes, which makes kids hyper, and there is no sugar. So it's gonna lessen that. So those are great options. Get prepared. Have your child's favorite sleep oil ready so that they start going to bed. Like start your bedtime routine a week before school starts or 2 weeks before. That's kind of, we homeschooled, but we always kind of started our routines like 2 weeks before. Get your kids' favorite